A good weekend it was. What a good weekend it was. What a good weekend it was, you guys. Let's see who we got going here tonight with me. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Straight Conversations, y'all. What a Monday night is going to go down. Yes, it's going down. And I can't wait for y'all to come jump up in here with us tonight. We got good subject matter tonight. I would love a lot of feedback. Sorry, my face looked like this, y'all. I had a long week. I had a long weekend. Some of it was good. Some of it was bad. But at the end of the day, God had me. So I'm back. And I'm recuperating and I'm getting it together. All right. You welcome, baby. You welcome. You guys, come on. Let's join up in here. Drop it up in here. Let's get it going. Tonight's Straight Conversations. Let me get my co-host up in here. Let me see how she been. I haven't talked to my girl all week, but I did go to church online, even though I was not there physically. My spirit and my body was still in the presence. And she cut it up on her little slash solo, y'all. She tore it up. She probably gonna be laughing at me. Let me see if she up on here tonight. Let me get her. Yeah, cause you tore it up. You looked so pretty in your yellow and white too. So let's get it popping. That's right. That's right. Let's get it popping. Hey, beauty.
Hola.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Look, I feel like I have not talked to you in forever. What's
I was
going
just
on?
sitting here giving you your kudos about how you did good on Sunday.
Oh, thank you. Hey, everybody. Hi,
You looked
y'all.
so pretty in your yellow and white too. Cut
Thank
it up in your little solo little section. I was like, all right now. I said she feel me in spirit even though I was not there. I was like, she know.
Sopranos. I had to hold it down for the Sopranos.
All right. So yes, I miss you so much.
Oh, I miss you too. Like, okay, so tell me, how was your week? What's been new? What's going on? You've been out of commission. I haven't heard from you, haven't seen you. What's going on with you?
Been dealing with some business stuff. I've been dealing with personal stuff. You know what I mean? I had some good stuff happen. I had some bad stuff happen. Um, but at the end of the day, I still got through it. And I
Okay.
still thank God for everything that happened, you know, because it could have been bad. Honestly, it could have been worse than what it was. You know what I mean? I did cry, you know, but I got through it. I straightened my crown and was like, you know what? I got to get these tears out because I need to. You know, sometimes it's necessary because you don't want to sock somebody in the face. So, but it's all better.
Okay. Fine
It's better.
conversation. I hear you. I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you. I hear you. Hey, everybody. What's going on, you guys? What's
Hey,
popping
hey.
for the evening? Welcome to Straight Conversations. My name is Nicole Shantae, and I'm with my beautiful, lovely sister and friend and host. And so, Victoria, Miss Lady V. Yes. So,
Yes.
hot topics. We got a hot topic tonight. What we
So,
talking about?
yes. Hot topic. Ooh, matter of fact, you know what? Let me see. Did I accidentally forget to put it in here? I think I did because I was in a rush.
Uh-oh.
But I think I will be able to add it later on. Hopefully, I'll be able to add it later on. But if not, you guys, tonight's topic, we are be talking about why, you guys, do people, non-specific genders, we're just saying people in general, why do people want to stay in an unhealthy relationship?
Ooh.
Backlash, domestic violence, whether it's verbal, mental, physical. Why is people staying in these unhealthy relationships? So that is Straight Conversations topics tonight. Let's get it cracking, let's get it open, let's get it popping, and let's go ahead and let's get you guys some some conversations going up in here. So, what you think, Nicole? What's going on? What you think? Why people stay
Ooh,
in some
ooh.
unhealthy relationships? What's your
You know,
experience,
um,
whether it's friends or family, or just knowing to help someone with your background? Like, what you think?
um, so I actually was in a relationship. I've had some serious relationships, and yes, I had a domestic violence relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oof, 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 woo. You
Woo!
take me back. Um, so man, jeez,
Hey,
Jesus.
Denise.
That that is such a touchy subject. You know what I'm saying? Now I can talk about it because I've healed from it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Um, but it was one of those tough relationships where you love somebody, you really care about that person, and you kind of put their behavior under the rug. You know what I'm saying? You kind of put it to the side and be like, you know what, I care about this person so much that um I want to see them better. I want to see them, really change their behavior because you have so much hope. You
Mm-hmm.
have so much um faith in the person because they're they're regular, you know they're a regular human being, you know what I'm saying, with a heart. You see their heart because literally you fell in love with the person for who they are, but then they have these horrible tendencies to want to hurt you, want to harm you, and it's like, man, what what do you do? How do you choose love over being hurt? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so it comes down to the place where you're like, I have to make a decision. I really have to make a decision if I'm going to stay in this relationship and continue to be hurt, um, or I'm going to continue just to be hurt. Like
Now,
it.
when you say hurt, like what type of hurt? Because you can say I love someone and still be hurt, but is that a mental hurt? Is that a physical hurt? Is that a
You
verbal hurt? Because domestic violence go all ways, and there's very, very, it's very broad. You know what
you
I
ever
mean?
been? Have you ever been in a domestic violence relationship?
Yeah, very bad, very, very, very,
Boom.
very bad. Like
So
very,
so
very.
so have I. So have I. You know what I'm saying? Where literally I was in the hospital, and ended up going back to the person. Crazy. Right. 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 Because it's like, what the heck, Like
Well, I
why?
can
But then this
I
was
can
you.
say, well, I got my license. I finally, that was the main reason, one of the main reasons why I got my gun permit license. Yeah, like,
Mm,
it got bad to where I like let off 2 clips on him, real tough. Yeah, yeah, no lie. And he flipped me over the freeway with my
wow.
son in the car in the back seat. Didn't care. Nope. Towed the car up. Yeah, yeah, it was bad.
So so I'm gonna ask you the same question. Why do you think people stay in harmful relationships or domestic violence? Because yes,
I,
it
I
is.
say, I say, I really think it's very reasons. Some people use love for an excuse. Some people use their kids for an
Okay.
excuse.
All
You know,
right. I'll lay
in
down.
unhealthy or domestic violence relationships. Some people really just don't know how to get out of them. They really
Mm,
want to, but they really don't know how to. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? Some people are just comfortable maybe, or just, what I'm saying, they're used to it. They just got comfortable with that lifestyle, that
The
situation,
toxicness.
that toxicness. Yes. Or maybe, you know what I mean, which is the last thing I'm thinking is basically is that drugs.
Mm. Okay, so you're coming from different standpoints. So tonight, for those that are joining us, we talking about why do people stay in unhealthy relationships? You know, from domestic violent relationships to toxic relationships to just different things. Like, what are some reasons? And we want to see you guys drop it in. We want y'all
Yeah.
to participate, and we want to hear from you guys too. Like, why do you guys think people, stay in these relationships that are not good for them? What is it about, these things? Like, what do y'all think? What do you guys think?
One thing
Um,
that I think it's a learned behavior from childhood trauma they witness from their own parents and carry that with them through life. That's a good one. That's a good one.
yeah, it sticks with them. And so because it's a learned behavior, they tend to kind of duplicate what they saw, you know,
It's
and
like monkey do.
it becomes normalized, it becomes the normal where you think
Which
that,
is
okay,
because there's it's like another thing. It's like they have the guidance that they're looking for to have to guide them through life to say which is wrong and which is right. It's not just verbal, it's visual, it's physical. So it's like basically the walk it like you talk it. If you're gonna say don't hit a woman, why would I turn around and see my mother or father? Don't think it's just one way, y'all, because it's not. There's women out there beating men too like crazy, that you know what I'm saying is out here, you know what I'm saying, beating the crap out of their spouse, and turn around looking at their kids saying, well, close the door, you didn't see nothing, you ain't gonna say nothing. And like, if that's the normal behavior, like, it's okay, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. You know what I mean? There's no boundaries, there's no guidance being set, there's no really no there's no morals, there's nothing for them to go off of, you know what I mean?
she says, I agree. Some can learn that it was bad and change for the better, but most people don't get help, so they think it's okay. Yes, like it's not okay. If you're like honestly, real talk, y'all, like if you are in a situation and you know that that situation is not good for you, don't be ashamed.
No.
Like, don't be ashamed. I know that I was, because I had my mom and I had, they were seeing these tendencies in the guy that I was with, and they were like, "Girl, no, that
I did.
dude controlling, mentally abusive, like get out of it." And I was like, "No, no, no, no." Didn't want to listen, didn't want to hear him, didn't want to take their advice. But then when things really started coming to out in the open, and I really started seeing this dude disrespect me, and really, now he's pushing me, and then it's like getting, we're like play fighting almost, you know what I'm saying? Then that starts turning into something. I really was like, wow, okay, and then I started getting ashamed. I was like, man, I don't want my mom to be like, I told you so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want
And that's
her to down,
for
and I don't want to disappoint her, you know
somebody
but
else said all people feel ashamed and afraid to be judged. Yeah.
exactly, like, man, it is one of those things, especially when people love you, they care about you, they don't want to see that. And yes, they want to see you do better, you know but at the end of the day too, you have to want to take that initiative and ask. There's only so much that somebody can do. There's only so much that your loved ones can do to help. We're here for you, man, here, you know, but you got to say, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough. So, Victoria, when was enough for you?
Enough was enough for me when I came home one day and I wanted I was working three jobs at that time. I was a young mom. I was in my like mid 20s, you know, mid 20s around there. I was working three jobs. I had my own house. I had like four cars, so I was very productive. I've always been that type of woman all my life. And what happened was, I caught my son's father at that time at home with another woman,
Mm,
and it set me off, and he thought it was okay. During that time, I did find out that my son's father was doing drugs, and this certain type of drug was not the normal. It was methamphetamine, and he was addicted. and he was addicted. And we started getting into it. Make a long story short, um, he turned me out to it. I thought it was okay, because I loved him. Words were exchanged or whatever. We had our son, but I was living by myself. Of course, I didn't have no family around me at all. My mom, no one was around me. No one was there at all. But to make a long, to speed up the story, um, I came home from work and I found him there with that woman, and then he thought it was cool that she was there and I didn't. He was high and I wasn't. So he tried to get me high, to try to do a threesome or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm really, really good. So he took the utensil that he was using and physically burnt me with it. Like literally he lit it with a torch and placed it on my body and burnt me, and numerous different places, and held me down. We started to get into an altercation. He picked me up by my throat, helped me against the wall. I'm only 5'4", and at that time I'm still 5'4". And keep in mind, this guy is very tall. He's about 6'9". And he's way bigger than me. So then he proceeds to just throw me back and forth like a rag doll, back and forth, up against the wall, up against the wall. I'm kicking, yelling, screaming, calling for help. No one's there. No one's helping. My neighbors, basically they've been hearing it all the time. It was like normal clockwork. But at that time, I already had got my license to bear arms. Well, this time the girl, she's now getting dressed, standing in the doorway, talking shit. The moment she starts talking shit, he lets go of me, of course. Once he lets go of me, I run in the room. I pack my stuff, pack my son's stuff. Now he's pinning me in the doorway. She's still talking crazy. He turns around and proceeds to hit her. I run him between his legs because he's so tall. I go in my room, and of course, what happens? I pull out my firearm, and I proceed to grab my child and back him up all the way up off of me. And he still tried to charge me. I jumped in my car. He jumped in his car. I let off in the middle of the street at his car very badly. We proceeded to get on a high-speed chase. It was very bad. It turned in really bad, a really bad domestic violence, K-9 units. It was really bad. All on the freeway, locally here in San Diego. To make the matters end worse, we proceeded to go to court. And the judge asked him, when we proceeded to evidence of, the case of my bruises, the car, I had to relinquish my firearm. I had to turn it in and everything like that. Show that I had proof, show that I had my case, my lock and everything like that for it. But his response to the judge was, oh yeah, I know. And I didn't give a fuck. And so the judge was like, well, what about the safety of your child? Your child was in the car. He was like, yeah. But at that time, I wasn't caring. I was caring, trying to get her. I wanted to kill her. So right there, the judge was like, oh. She was like, you know what? The restraining order didn't hold you back. This girl didn't moved away from you. You still proceeding to chase her. She has full custody of the son now. She's then cut, and he still was stalking me. Even after that, he was stalking me for a minute. And come to find out, it was about materialistic things after that. Because I got granted everything, and then I got granted with the, full custody and sobriety of my son. He really hit a whole nother level. He was like, okay, well, F you, judge, F everything. He went cuckoo in the courthouse.
Mm.
Then they tried to get him, but he took off running. And then from there,
He took running inside the court.
yeah, he took off running outside the courthouse
Oh,
after he
outside the
said,
court.
fuck you, and everybody fuck you. So she tried to hold him in contempt of court to, for being, how that go. But he didn't give it. He jumped over the railing and ran out the courthouse and started running. But then like later on, when of course my husband now that I have was with me, and we was living in our own life, like maybe 3 months later, he decides to want to act up again, girl. He want to act up again. Now he coming to vandalize my cars, steal my cars, pick up my son from daycare without permission, and he ain't even on the list. Girl, it was starting to get real crazy, and I'm like, this ain't cool. What's going on? We have to go back to court again. Come to find out, he just wanted everything that I invested entire life into: the house, the cars, my bank accounts, my money, my basically my whole life. That's what he wanted. Come to find out, he was tapped out, he was drugged out, he didn't have nothing, he just lost everything. So I just told the judge. My husband convinced me and was just like, see, just give it up, give it up. So when we went back to court, I was just like, have it, take the car, take everything, take the money, take the bank account. I don't care. Just take it. Just leave me the hell alone. When I gave it up, he gave it up. He started a whole new life.
And how long was it? How long did you have to deal with this?
Oh, like how long was I in domestic violence for?
Yeah. How long was you in that toxic relationship? Like how long were you dealing with that?
For like 3 years, 4 years.
Did you notice any
I
signs?
left when my son was. I left when my son was like 1.5, almost 2 years old. But I
And
was I was with his dad way before that though.
and he's how old now?
Who, my son?
Mm-hmm.
20 and a half.
For 4.5 years? You saying
Yeah.
for 4.5 years?
When I left his dad, when Rick was like 1.5, 2 years old. But I was with his dad before I even got pregnant with him, going through domestic violence. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So why stay?
I was young. I was by myself. I was doing good. I was working. You know what I'm saying? I was going to school. But yeah, I loved him. I thought that I thought that he would change. When I was giving him my ultimatums, when I was telling him, what I needed from him, he was doing certain steps. He was making certain strides, and I started to see the change. But for some reason, he stopped, and it just hit a plateau. Like, he didn't even have a high school diploma. He didn't have nothing going for himself. He was he's a gangbanger or whatever. I'm not here to judge anyone, okay? He was a gangbanger. So I told him, look, I'm not about to be one of these baby mamas out here with a gangbanger or a baby daddy. You ain't got nothing. No, you're going to do something with yourself. You're going to make something of yourself. Because I come from a family that's something of themselves, and I don't want my son looking at his father with no role model, with
Right.
no, I don't want that. So he was like, okay. So he ended up going to Job Corps. He played on the Job Corps basketball team. Okay. He graduated with honors. He graduated with his high school diploma instead of his GED, became a master plumber, became a certified plumber, became a foreman plumber, and was making dough. Well, and then that's when everything changed. He met one of his best friends, which was a white guy, and he started changing his preference of drugs, and that's when it all turned. And I was like, oh no.
So it was the drugs that got him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would do it.
Yep.
Whether it's drinking, whether it's, the choice of drugs, like literally all that will definitely change a person. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
have an effect because like I know a lot of people sometimes they become extremely violent, extremely, extremely,
It was very violent.
or
It was
they become
violent.
emotionally like, just man, what do you think about, because there's, as far as like domestic violence and stuff, or just abuse, like people who are um abusive with their money, like trying to control you with, you know, your finances.
That's manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Mental. That's domestic violence too. Because that's like a controlling factor. That's
Mm-hmm.
not letting someone be themselves. That's like all of that. And that's all also with verbal too. And that comes with how they decide to tell you what to do when
Mm-hmm.
they need you to do it in order to get what they want from you. But they use kinding and kind words and sweet words, but
Right,
really it's
right.
very abusive. At the end of the outcome, because it starts becoming very repeatedly. Then when they don't get it, it becomes vulgar. And when it's not happening, and then it becomes like it's very weird and strange and unorthodox. And not just men do it, women do it too. And
Hmm.
the crazy part. That's what that's what I really want to talk about, because you hear a lot about men and domestic violence, but the women out here
Talk
nowadays,
about it.
violence is outrageous. It's
Talk about it.
absurd. It's just beyond belief
Yeah.
how much they're getting away with it, how much people are not believing some of these men out here when they saying it, how much, is
So as a voice for somebody who wants to share, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, I can hear your heart. Like, you're like, yo, yes, women, they go through it too, and it's no, any level, anybody dealing with any kind of toxic relationship, it's not good, period. If you're in
yeah,
a situation and somebody is trying to take advantage of you, or mistreating you, trying to really harm you and hurt you deliberately, like, yes, cut them off. Like, you don't need that. If you seeing the signs, believe the signs.
yeah,
Believe
y'all
the
know.
signs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so for the